Hi guys, welcome to today's session. Today we'll be learning about Microsoft PowerPoint. So, as we all know, the Microsoft Office package comes with various programs within the whole suite. Programs including your Microsoft Word, your Microsoft Excel, and your Microsoft Access. But today we'll be learning specifically about Microsoft PowerPoint. This is where we create all of our slides and all of our presentations. So you go to desktop and you create a new PowerPoint presentation. So I've decided to name mine how to create slides. So after you've created, the screen that you see in front of you will be the screen that you see right after opening your PowerPoint presentation. This is your default screen. So as you can see, it says click to add your first slide. So slides are like pages of a book. This has to be your cover slide. This has to be your main slide. So what can I add here? When you go to your home tab, you click on new slide, click on new slide. It shows you various options. You have your title slide, your title and content, your section header, and your to content. So as I've said, that your first slide has to be your cover page. So you just call it you just click on your title slide. And then we call this how. You then can add a subtitle or not. So let's say, so this is my cover slide. Same way as a book, this is my cover page. But I do not want it plain. This seems too plain for me. The thing about PowerPoint is that you are able to add more features. You are able to create and make it more creative and more colorful. So how do I change this theme? So I go to my insert tab, and then from insert, not to insert. You come to the design tab. So from your design tab, it shows you multiple themes, but here it's only a few themes. So when you press on the air, when you hover over everything, you get to see how the themes look. So the theme that you select will go through right through all of your new slides unless you decide to change your themes. So let's see which theme seems plausible, which theme seems nice. So the thing about PowerPoint, it is always best and advisable for you to keep it simple. So let's choose this one, how to create slides. So now that I have my cover slide, I can go back to my home tab and then I'd go to new. So new, because I already have a title slide, I now come to title and content. So here is where this is my page 2. So same way as a book, I have to add my table of content. So my table of content is not really a table of content. I'll call this lesson outcomes. So I'm able to then change my font by highlighting everything I've written by changing the font. Let's change the font to, let's see. So I have a list of fonts. Let's change the font to Bebas. And then I am able to increase my font or decrease my font. But because it's a title, it has to stand out. I prefer us increasing our title. And then here's an outcomes. What do we hope to learn? So as much as now we have the title, we then move to the actual content. So what are our lesson outcomes? We say text. So this is where I add my text. I can also do the same thing. I can resize my text. I can also change the font. So it's always advisable for you guys to keep it simple, as elegant as you can. So what are we supposed to be able to know? Then text, let's say manipulating. Then, oh yeah, sorry, it's creating a slide. And then we're manipulating text. What are we adding? We're adding pictures, sections, and as well as viewing. Right? So these are our lesson outcomes. These are the things we intend to learn. So let's highlight this and make this bold, just so it stands out. So at the end of this lesson, we should be able to create a slide, manipulate text, add pictures and graphics, transitions and animation, and view slides. So let's get into it. So the first one, we are able to create slide. So number one, we've already done number one. We have also done number two, where we now manipulate text. So now we add pictures and graphics. So we go back to our home page, then we click on the arrow on new slide, where we now view different slides. So for the purpose of this, it is best we use the two content, and then we, same as the previous one, we now add a title. So we say adding, we change our text. We don't really have to change the text, but I just like keeping mine fancy, and whatever changes I make on previous slides, I make sure that they go through all of my slides just so it seems as one thing. So now I have my title. So here it gives me the left and the right. So I'm given multiple options where I can click here to add text, or I can add a table, I can add charts, I can add smart art, pictures, videos. So for now, I want to add pictures. I click on pictures. Click on pictures and I browse for pictures. So here is a picture of myself. I click on this picture, I insert this picture. Then you see my picture has been added. I'm able to add a second picture because the slide I chose allows me to add two different pictures. So I go back, I can either use the same or I can browse for a different picture. Let's go to my desktop and browse for a different picture. Let's browse for a different picture. Let's come here and browse for literally any picture you find. Here's a picture. So as you can see, this is highlighted, meaning I am able to resize it in any direction I please to. So now that I've added pictures, we move on to our next slide. We now add a comparison slide. Comparison slide, I click on it. Now it gives me a main heading and two subtitles. So let's call this don'ts and don'ts. Yeah, do's and don'ts. Don'ts of, and again, we highlight this. I change my font and I increase my font size. Increase my font size. My font size. So the left hand side, I'm going to call it my do. I do. And then I increase font. I center it. And then my right side, I call it don't. Same thing. I change the font size, increase it, increasing it, and I center it. So you can align everything here. So what are the do's and don'ts of Microsoft PowerPoint? The first thing that I do is the do's. So do's, I'm able to add this, I'm able to add. So don'ts of PowerPoint. So it's adding too much. So these are the basics of PowerPoint. I now have a different slide. So the do's, it's adding font, add pictures, and add slides. And then it's adding too much content in one slide. I don't. And then I don't add too much. Sorry, I don't add too much animation. I also don't add too much transitions. So let's go for a third slide. What slide can we add? Okay, let's now add let's go to a title only, and then let this be our last slide. So this being our last slide, we can now say, thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. And then we go to store. Then we resize it. So as you can see on the left hand side, I have 5 slides. Slide number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So before I do anything, these slides have to be viewed bigger. But in order for them to be viewed bigger, I go down here to slideshow, or I go to the slideshow tab and I click. So it gives me options from beginning or current slide. So I like to begin from the beginning, and then it changes to here. So this is what's going to happen. So how to create slides? So when I press my arrows, it changes. But now, as you can see, my transition is playing. So what I have to do is I have to make it fancy. So I press the escape button on my laptop or computer if using a desktop. So I come to transitions. So transitions are the way in which my page turns, in which when I'm viewed in slideshow, it moves from one part to another. So here's what I'm gonna do. I take this, and then I move this from here, take it straight to push. So this is what's going to happen. So I change, or if I click on fade, this is what's going to happen. So I click on every slide. So mind you, you have to use the same transition. I click on every slide, and then I click on fade. Click on every slide, I click on fade. Then I go back to my second slide. So I click on the outcomes. We're now adding, what are we adding now? We're still adding, let's add animation. Animation is how our words are going to come in. So I like to use fly in. So when I come to the slide, the first thing that happens, it flies in. And then I click here, I highlight the whole section, and I let it fly in. And then I go here to my third slide, I click on the title, I let it fly in. I click on the picture, and it flies in. I click on the other picture, it flies in. So I'm going to do this flying in animation right throughout. Click on the title, I let it fly in. I click on title, I let it fly in. Click on content, it flies in. Title, select, fly in. Content, flies in. Last slide, flies in, everything flies in. So now that I've inserted my flying in of my transition and both animation, I'm now able to go back to my first slide, and then when I go to my slideshow tab, I click on from beginning. Look what happens. When I change, I keep pressing my arrows until all my information is here. So as you can see, they all fly in with the control of my button. So as I'm presenting everything, I now control what comes on the screen and how it comes on the screen. So that is your basic slideshow presentation. Keep it simple to do everything all in one. So thank you for watching, guys. If you have any queries, please be sure to ask me if you have anything to ask. But other than that, thank you for joining.